I I really I can't believe it. Today is show 15 goddamn hundred. 1,500 shows. This started out at WFDU in Teaneck, New Jersey. And from there, 3 hours, 4 to 7 a.m. for almost a year. And then from there, Carol got me some equipment and I had this little recorder. And from there, we got to the Roadcaster. And now we are at 1,500 goddamn shows. 1,500 shows, man. And today they're showing Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Rocky Balboa. We're on Rocky 3 right now. My day's shot. But I was like, you know what? A lot to talk about. Interestingly enough, I just read something from Andrew Brandt, and I love that I can do the show and constant stuff appears. I mean, I probably could have 8,000 things to talk about during a show. But Andrew Brandt brought up a very good point. I got to find it because, I really like this today. Yeah, 1,500. Yeah, holy shit is right, my man. And I couldn't have done it without my new buddies at Company of Jace, especially Aaron, Rob, and Josh. Josh is listening to every goddamn show. And Aaron and my buddy Harris and Bill and Michigan and man, Ben. I mean, the list goes on. Lucy Gray and her Ben, and my buddy Ben Murray, who I just spoke to today for the first time in a long time. Kramer, Yankees Recap, Tommy, who's new. All these guys that went through Company of Jace. Colm came on the show. I want Jules on the show to talk about soccer coming up, and Bumbles, and my cousin Teddy and Scott and Lenker and Eric and David. Everybody. I mean, just like all the people, that have listened to the show and tell me, I had David on, I've had Milton. I mean, all the people telling me, just keep at it, man. Just keep going. And yeah, you just got to keep going, man. I mean, who would have thought I would have got to 1,500 shows? I just saw that today. I was like, holy shit, 1,500 shows. All of you guys, all of you, man, I have been, I'll be honest with you. I am not handling this well with my pops. At all. And, I worked out yesterday for the first time in a month. I don't think I've worked out even 11 times. Man, I was doing workouts 3-4 a day. Now I'm lucky if I do one a day. And I'm like, I am not in a good place. And then I have the show. And that's what puts me in a good place. And yeah, shit, we debate, argue, and but I apologize, man, if sometimes I get a little crazy. Because I feel like if I don't have this show, I am done. Literally. That the show is keeping me going. And now we hit 1,500 shows, and it's like, wow. And it's the forum. There's stuff to talk about. There's always stuff I look up. I look up all this stuff. And, you just got to keep going. Yeah, shit, I know. I haven't made a dime off this show. And, I think about, you don't do it for that reason. You don't do it, you're thinking about dollar signs. You hope it comes. But you know what? I mean, I invest in myself, and that's all I can do. And I just keep doing shows, keep thinking of stuff to talk about. And right now, 1,500 shows. So thank you all. Love you all. And, I read something, Andrew Brandt, today that really hit me. And Andrew Brandt said, many don't appreciate the power of the franchise tag in the NFL. No other sports league has this ability to essentially take the team's top free agent, somehow waiting for years to test the market, which is really true, off the market and limit them to negotiate with one team, not 32 teams. He said the tag was agreed by the Players Association in 93 when free agency came to the NFL. It was seen as a way for teams to retain their top quarterbacks at their time. Elway, Marino, Aikman, etc. But teams are smart now used for all positions, offer for kickers to restrict movement. The fallacy here is that some, even the union, have said, well, it only affects a handful of players. Wrong. It affects every player. By restricting the price at the top of the market, it trickles down to all. And while teams rarely apply the tag, they use it all the time. Teams negotiate with top players knowing they have the tag in their back pocket. If a top player has 1 year left in the deal, the team knows it really has 2 to 3 years left. It will not lose them. A powerful negotiating tool also allows the teams to date rather than marry. Yeah, I mean, I really thought that was interesting. Date rather than marry. And you take the top guy off the market. You got to. So it really isn't free agency. The team that took you now has control over you. And the same with Saquon. Now, I know running backs are held back, and I've talked about this with Rob, and I saw Bart Scott put that he's a side piece, and Rob and I were debating about, what is it different than any other job? I hear what you're saying. They're playing with now we could lose our jobs at any moment, but it's a privilege, not a right to play in the NFL. Yes, any sports, and it can be gone like that. So you have 1 year where you make a shitload of money, and poof, you're out of the league, and you'll never make that money again. And the energy and playing in front of you'll never, I don't know how you go from playing in the NFL or anything to go doing regular shit. I don't know how you do it. And you hear about the guys, they retire and they get depressed, and they lose their money within 5 years because you've been making this money, you're living it this certain way, and you come from nothing. You have this money. Anybody could do it. You have all this money, and it's hard to what's the word I'm looking for? To budget. And, poof, it's all gone. And, you don't think Brady misses every day being out on the field, being with the team, playing at that high level? What else compares to that? You can buy businesses, whatever. Nothing compares. You sitting behind the booth? No, nothing compares. There's the brotherhood, all that stuff. They talk about that stuff. And I just thought that was really interesting today. So I saw that, and I was like, damn, that is really kind of cool. And I was talking to Lanker today. Well, Rob sent me something about WAR today, wins above replacement. And the top three are from 2015, 2022 through Fangraphs is Trout, Mookie Betts, and then Francisco Lindor. So I looked up all the years. I don't know how they get the formula. Great. But, I was talking to Lanker about this today, and Lanker is my baseball guy because Lanker and I have known each other for, now we've known each other almost 37 years. He tapes every goddamn Yankee game. Every game. So if he doesn't watch it, and Josh is a huge Yankee fan, all that. I'm not taking anything away from any of the guys. But I really wanted, Frank is like me. We're old school. I get crazy with this. And I'm trying to get Lanker on, but Lanker's, just had knee surgery and whatever. And everybody feels like they can come on and they're not going to have anything to talk about. Like Milton, the first time he came on, he was like, I don't know, maybe I'll give you 20 minutes and then you're an hour and a half in. Rob comes on every goddamn time and it's like 2 hours. Josh, hypothetically, my brain comes on and he give me like 6 hours. I mean, it's just a dream right now. It's not reality. It's just a dream. I've seen it from a distance. It's like I'm looking through a glass mirror, but I'm not really seeing it up close. It's a tease, I call. Josh is my tease because I get stuff on here, but I don't get the stuff, I'm busting on him. I'm busting, yeah. So thank you. Yeah, dude, yeah. So what did Rob say? The franchise tag, I believe, was something the players wanted. Yes, when they first came about. And then look what it is now. And it kind of affects everybody's, pay grade going on, And that's the thing, too. It's a trickle down, too. So if you hold the guys at the top, it affects everybody underneath, too. And it's a trickle down kind of thing, too. And they're saying Dak could get, Aaron Schultz says he could get $60 million. And I know we've had this talk before. So you get rid of him. Who's coming in to replace him? The Vikings are not going to give Kirk Cousins a fully guaranteed deal. Well, he's coming off the Achilles, but somebody will. And if you get rid of Dak, who are you going to bring in? Who are you bringing in to replace him? You got a team ready to win now, and that's not saying they will. They bombed the playoffs, but you have a team that's ready to win now. And are you going to bring in a rookie quarterback and hope for the best? Maybe not with Mike McCarthy, but I mean, are you going to get Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, and he's going to turn the thing around? Is Cooper Rush the answer? I don't know. But that's the market. You can have a $60 million quarterback in Dak Prescott who hasn't done shit. And, it brings me to the WAR thing. Mike Trout, great player. Ohtani, WAR. And I know Rob will say to me, there's a lot of factors. Frank and I are talking about it. And he's saying that he feels batting average, we're into on-base percentage. And he says, well, who's knocking in the guy who's getting on base? And he says, if I have a guy with a 220 batting average and an on-base percentage, great on-base percentage, where there's a guy 330, I'm going to want the 330 guy to come in to knock that guy in. And it's great if all these guys can get on base, but somebody's got to knock him in. And even if you have, like the Angels had, with Ohtani and Trout with great WARs, it didn't translate to wins. And I was talking to the guys today, and it's hard. The guys are working, and I'm running around with my phone. I expect everybody to get back to me ASAP, which they can't. Guys are working. I understand that. But I want that to happen. It's not going to happen, but that's what I want. And, every year there's a team that comes out of nowhere, like the Rangers last year. And the thing is, too, it's about peaking at the right time. You know, like the Braves were